Hey guys, this is my 2017 Royal Enfield Classic 500. I bought it as the demo model with about 300 miles on it back in 2019. So far I've put over 4,000 miles on the bike. And unfortunately, I've gone through 3 halogen bulbs, which is driving me crazy. I also don't like the original look of this wide bezel headlight. I also don't like the fact that the halogen keeps going. So I changed it out. I think this new headlight looks way better. I also love that it came with the little visor up there. Yeah, much better look. Right now, this has halogens in it, and I'm going to show you how to change that out to LED as I figure it out. Now, this came from westerncyclesupply.com. I'm not sponsored or anything by them, but I love the look, and it's been really a big pain in the butt to find parts for a US Royal Enfield. All the parts from India seem to be slightly off spec, lower quality, so I made me really happy to find this. One issue I did run into, Western Cycle Supply sends it with an LED bulb in it. The bulb's fantastic, but the throttle cable is about 1/4 of an inch too far this way for the heat bank of the LED bulb. Runs right into it. So it's not a big deal. Ended up finding this bulb on Amazon, has some really great reviews. A lot of people had no issues with it. Very small heat bank. And some people did say in the comments on Amazon that it worked with their Classic 350 and their Himalayan. So hoping I have the same luck here. Now, in order to get this and the original fixing off, you gotta loosen up this screw, which has like a little clamp here that holds it to here. On this new model, that clamp also holds this part to here. So you don't want to loosen up too much and have this fall off of this. You gotta kind of hold it together. You gotta loosen that, and then you have one Phillips screw here, and on the other side, you have another Phillips screw right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and screw those off. Actually, I just remembered I got the screws out, but before I take that out, Western Cycle Supply did send it with a base halogen bulb, so if your LED doesn't work, the halogen inside will. So there's the halogen, and that's on dim, and then there's bright. Kind of hard to see in here, but yeah, there's brights, there's the rest. And bike is at an angle right now as I have it parked, so it's going to look a bit off. And it's kind of hard to see in here, but there's actually a smaller bulb that's down in here, and then that plugs in separately. So I'll show you that in a second. So as I take it off here, you see there's where the H4 connects, and that's for your main bulb. And then those two little guys down there, those light up that small auxiliary bulb. And those weren't hooked up to anything when I bought the bike. They were just flopping around in there doing nothing. And you see right, see if I can do this with one hand. Right there, that throttle cable at the tip of my finger, that is what the original LED bulb was hitting on. And it wasn't able to work past that. A little bit better of an angle now. But yeah, with the LED, the original heat bank was hitting right on this guy here. So now that this is unscrewed, just pop the H4 right off. That's what you'll connect to the new bulb. Don't need to pop these off because I'm going to still use that same auxiliary. And this just pops right off. Now I called Western Cycle Supply and asked them if this doesn't fit on the new LED bulb, is it necessary? Basically, unless you're riding through a waterfall, he said, you don't really need this. But it does fit on the original halogen that he gave me. Now to take the old bulb out here, pinch these two guys together. Might not be able to do it one-handed, but let's see. Just pinch those together. Lift that right out. Sorry, trying to show you what's going on, but a little bit difficult. So this is just holding that in place. Here's the halogen bulb. Wearing gloves, you don't want to get your skin oils on the bulb. I'm still going to save this as a backup in case the LED breaks or if it doesn't work. And then this just kind of rotates, gets out of there. There's the halogen. And then I'm going to load up this Oxido motorcycle LED bulb. Now this is the LED bulb down here. Here's the original halogen. Just comparing them, doesn't look like I should have any issue getting the new LED one in. That heat bank is a lot smaller. Packaged pretty nicely. Alright, so I got the LED bulb out now. Give it a good look at it. Only can go in one way there. Snug fit, but yep, slide right in, not a problem. All right, now LED bulbs in. I wanted to see if the rubber protection here would actually work and fit over it. It's got these two drain holes, I guess if any water were to get in that, so we'll make sure that's facing downward for when the bulb ultimately goes in. And I'll need to use two hands to push this on, but just slides straight down and it fit perfectly. And there it is, placed on top. Drain holes towards the bottom. And I just used my thumbs and pressed all around and worked it down. Got the auxiliaries plugged in. Now right here you'll see that's where it kind of wants to separate, so be careful there. This is what clamps in right up here at the top. So I want to use two hands to do this. Make sure everything fits in here, but I'm going to plug this in right there, then see if it slides in, and hopefully it doesn't mess with that throttle cable. Okay, got it plugged in. You can see it wants to separate a little bit, so make sure you get that tightened down. You got get your two screws here on either side on. It's going to take two hands to do this, so I'm going to have to stop recording right here, but I'll turn it on after I get it squared away. But it does fit perfectly fine with that bulb. Okay. Top screw, you got your two side screws. It's kind of a little bit of a pain to make sure this is all pushed together as you screw this in, and then just follow, make sure you got a good tight seam all the way around. So might want to bump out a little bit here and just a little tiny knock, and then tighten it a little bit better, and it was in. Turn the bike on. There's that LED. There's low beam, there's high beam, low beam, high beam. Very bright beam. Should be much easier to see at night versus that baseline halogen. I don't know if I can get it to focus here, but you can kind of see the orange there, that's that auxiliary. That's what those two little plugs down there are. And then there's your LED. Anyways, I love it so far. I don't have a camera set up for while I ride, but I will post an update if there's any issues. I don't expect there to be any issues, because that's just, you know, it's just so much better than the original. Loving it. Can't wait to do some night riding now. All right. Thanks, guys.